Good morning and welcome in, everyone. It's Wednesday, May 21st, 2025 at 7:54 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm XRP Future Millionaire and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So I wanted to do the update this style. It allows it to stay a little fresh. If it's a little hard to read, still working on that part of it, trying to make it a little bit easier. This is the best I think it's looked so far, but it'll be up to your interpretation. If it's hard to read some of the numbers, you might have to zoom it in a little bit on your own. But anyhow, XRP is down 0.18%. We're sitting at $2.35. If we just go through the markets real quick, we've got the Dow Jones. We'll see how it starts out here at 9:30. But DXY is down under 100, as we talked about yesterday. That was about to drop under, down 1/3%. You've got gold up about 20 bucks an ounce to 3,310. So retook 3,300. Silver still over $33 an ounce. In pre-market, we've got mining up about 0.86%. B2 gold up about 0.62%, but we'll see how it plays out coming into the day. Pan America Silver's up 0.67%. We've got First Majestic up 1/3%, and Fortuna Silver Mines up 1.59%. It's only important to show that so we can see where the money's rotating. And mining stocks are a little hot here this week, and gold and silver's had a nice reversal for the week. So I wanted to show it like this because I think being on the touchscreen like this, if you focus in and you don't worry so much about, oh, I need it to look 100% like it does on his screencast when he records his own screen. I wanted to show the setup here in a fashion that might catch your attention a little bit more. So now that we've got the whole chart in front of us on the entirety of the screen, and you're able to see it from a wider scope, what I want you to see is how we're breaking out of this descending triangle. And that's where the focus needs to be at. This descending triangle. And right here, in this area here, right here, that's where we need to stay above at $2.29. We can take off this, just for the ease of being able to see. Take this off. And that $2.29 is right where we've got to hold. That's the top of this support structure on the breakout of a descending triangle. And this is what needs to hold. I mean, so far we've done exactly what we need to do. We've got somewhat of a bottoming formation, but we've got to get out of this area. Otherwise, this bearish cross will turn into a death cross. And let's just say the price action finds its way, to that downward spiral. What ends up happening here is if you break this structure, this ends up coming down, then it tests this, and then it'll come down here into these ranges. And those ranges can get you all the way down to $2.06, $2.07. and still be within the pattern formation. So that's why we're looking at it from a sense of we want to stay on top of this descending triangle. We want this to be the overall breakout zone and start riding from there, which would be absolutely spectacular. But, there's a lot of work to be done still, as you can see. But we are holding now. We're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the 7th day, so for 1 week, we've held with these red candles after reversing above the consolidation point. The apex zone on this, if you just follow this, I'll put this to the end. It's at September of 2025. So if you're watching this, that's when this pattern technically, let's say it falls back in, it could technically ride out to that area. But, that's neither here nor there because we're on the top side. But that's just something to be aware of. If we look at the distribution, the demand zone, supply zones, and things like that, we've still got ourselves in this consolidatory zone. We're stuck in the middle, but we've already back-tested distribution, so we very well could find ourselves in the demand section. And then if you break past demand, then that's how you get into discovery. Where the hell is this at? Must have had that out in the monthly. Look at that. Way over there. What the hell good is that? But yeah, that's where we're sitting right now. If we can get through back into the demand box and break through there, then we end up in discovery. Once you get in discovery, I mean, you're talking $5 plus. We've already, this is the luxury. Let's be honest. This is the luxury. And we came all the way up here and we held that area. Once we did that and came back up after 7 years, we had 7 years, and this is a blessing. We had 7 years where we had a lot of people trying to be made whole. They bought anywhere between $3 and $3.40, and they sat there for 7 years. Well, once it got up into that $3 to $3.40 range, they sold, and they sold hard, and XRP dropped about 60%. We went all the way from up here at $3.40 all the way down to here on April 7th to $1.62. That's a massive come down, but it's very, very important for what we're trying to achieve long term, because now a lot of these people that were stuck, they sold out and the price ended up falling 54%. So, well, a little bit farther than that. But they ended up able to sell out. So now that you've had this happen, now you've got a setup, in fact, that now we've got all this dumping out. Now when it comes back and it actually hits discovery for real, we're not going to have all of this mess here to tie us up. And we're going to be able to break out parabolically, break into discovery, and then we're going to end up finding ourselves, whoops, on our other chart, which is going to be spectacular. Because all of these, well, not that one, all of the breakout points, and this is how I envision it right now. Let me make this smaller. This is how I envision this. We're in this long descending wedge, which we'll be able to see, broke up into a cup and handle, and now we have that handle playing out. And yeah, you could line this up better almost into a falling channel setup, but that's just to give you a little bit of a vision, and that plays into our understanding of this pattern years ago when we put it into this W reversal. I'm going to get rid of some of these because we're so far past here. I prefer to hide some of this stuff so that we can actually look at this chart. Like, we don't have to deal with these numbers anymore. You know, we're way up there. So I'm going to get rid of all of these. Sometimes it's just better. But this is something we drew out in 2022 roughly. And we said, imagine if this actually comes up here and we do what we need to do, XRP, this is our roadmap of how to get to 255 million. And now that it's played out years later, and it's crazy because it's almost playing out in the exact consolidation I drew, that gets you up to 255 billion. At 255 billion, XRP is going to be up near that $5.49 area. So as this all plays out, that's what I'm anticipating. That's what I'm looking to happen. And in time, I think this is how it's going to play out. And I think it's going to be parabolic. So we'll see how long it takes. But I do, in fact, think that's where we're heading. Bitcoin's down 284 bucks today to 106,553. Nothing major. Still looks really bullish to me in the weekly. Like, that's a weekly engulfing candle. Made a new high. It's only Wednesday. This looks super bullish. Now, if it comes back down, we know, yes, we've interpreted it as maybe it can come back down to 89, 88, 90,000 if it has to create an inverse right arm, but it doesn't have to. It doesn't need to come down in that kind of pattern. It can just break out from here. This will be looked at as a bull flag, nice inverse consolidation. And then I think that's what we need to be looking at it. And if this breaks out, you're talking about not just 128,000. I mean, you're talking about a significant move here. You know, first you'd come up to about that 125, 128. And then after that is where you start to topple out here. You start to come up near that 148. That's going to be a spot. We'll mark it on the map. But this is absolutely a presentable target right now. But we would have to break past that 124,000, 128,000 technical area. But I do think in time, we're going to come up here. I think we're going to come up here. I really do. We're going to come up into that section where I'm pointing. And that could be a culminating moment here. And we'll see if it has to come up higher. But I really believe that it can come way up there. If this breaks out, that's exactly where it's going to go. And last but not least, Ethereum. I think Ethereum needs to be watched right now for a potential breakout. Now, it could roll over because we're at that resistance spot. But in the weekly, it's trying to gather some strength. And the fact that nothing happened on the way down and it hasn't had that concisive breakdown. I think it's getting ready to try to push back into this rising wedge. For anybody who's been paying attention for any length of time, we've been in this rising wedge that we broke down out of. And we talked about, even if bearish, we had to retest the breakdown of the rising wedge, which is what we're doing. But instead of dropping back out, kind of created a V-shaped recovery. And if we can get over 2,600 and let's just say 25, we're going to make a run all the way back up in time, as long as we use that uptrend as support. So pay attention to Ethereum. If you need to gain exposure, I mean, that's up to you. But pay attention. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. Make sure to hit that like button. I'm going to release this update so that I can get it out there. My son has to be to school at 8:28. So I want to release this. If you're looking to trade crypto, especially when you see some red, don't always wait for the green days. Wait, you want to buy on red days. So make sure you look at Bitunix. They have the lowest spot and leverage trading fees in the USA. Worldwide, no KYC or VPN. Saves a ton of money. They've got XDC. So if you're looking to buy XDC every day like I am until it's 10 cents, it's on Bitunix. You can buy Alchemy Pay, XRP, XLM, HBAR, IOTA, ALGO, ZIL, so many different things, VeChain, and it's all in one place. You're not going to have to worry about the exorbitant fees, and you can actually swing trade again, take your trading life back. If you are watching, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join the over 38,400 subscribers. Consider joining Tom's Army to pay it forward, as all my content's for free. I've been doing this since March of 2021, March 24th of 21. I've never missed a day, so if you want to show support for the program, allow me to continue to invest within what we do. Join Tom's Army, get the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens in month 1 with my face superimposed on that emoji badge. All the way out to 4 years with the XRP Rise of the Phoenix badge, which is awesome. You can send a YouTube super chat if you would like. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. I encourage you to join the Telegram, to join us so you can talk to us even after the updates and lives. And then share this on social media. Have a blessed day. Stay humble, show humility. Don't forget to thank your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And going forward, just stay humble. Have a blessed day, everybody, and we'll touch base very shortly.